We're starting the week with a Weetabix breakfast. All you need is Weetabix, of course, Greek yogurt and some berries. I grabbed a glass container and added 2 Weetabix biscuits. I then added a bit of milk and crushed them until they're all combined with the milk. At this point, it would be good to let that mixture thicken up, but I hadn't planned ahead, so I continued with adding some Greek yogurt on top. I evened it out using the back of my spoon and then topped with lots of blueberries. I've never tried this before. By the way, good morning. It's Monday and I made this Weetabix cheesecake thing. It looks like a cheesecake. That's so nice. I'm surprised, I didn't expect it to be this nice. I thought it was gonna be a bit boring, but I really like it. And yeah, I feel like if it sets even more, it'll be even nicer because it will be more like a biscuit base. But I like it. Thumbs up. Good start to the week. I also had a banana if you're interested, because For lunch I got this Greek salad avocado toast at a cafe, which was delicious. It was avocado toast topped with Greek salad and poached eggs. Pretty much all of my favorite things in one dish. It was delicious. And then snack time, I had a green apple and then I fancied something savory, so I started by chopping some celery and carrot. I then served some hummus in a little bowl and served with the veggies and some sourdough crackers. Dinner time, and I'm making a simple rice and tofu bowl. I grabbed a pan for my rice and a non-stick pan for my tofu. I poured some boiling water to my pan, seasoned with salt, and added some rice. While the rice was cooking, I chopped my tofu in medium-sized pieces. I then sprayed some fry light and sesame oil into my non-stick wok and added the tofu. I mixed the pieces around and seasoned with salt and pepper. For veggies, I chopped some lettuce leaves, cabbage, and a couple of radishes. Once the tofu was cooked, I added my veggies to my bowl, the rice, and finally the tofu. Dressed the vegetables with olive oil, vinegar, and salt, and lastly I topped everything with this yummy perinade sauce. This looks so good, I can't wait. And I wanted something warm and comforting, so... So good, definitely. This makes it, I think. Otherwise it's a bit bland, but just love adding a bit of fun stuff. Because it's still like all the healthy stuff, but yeah, you just get a bit of flavor and a bit of spice as well. It's just so good. Very yummy day. Gonna go enjoy. See you tomorrow. Another day, and I'm going back to one of my favorite breakfasts, a feta omelette. I grabbed a couple of roasted peppers from a jar and chopped them up in small pieces. I also measured about 45 grams of feta to use later on. I cracked 2 eggs in a bowl and added some egg whites to bulk it up and add more protein. I whisked them up and added them to a non-stick pan. I then topped with the chopped peppers and feta. Seasoned with salt and pepper and let the omelette cook through. So today's breakfast is a feta and pepper omelette. It's such a nice and filling breakfast, and for some reason I feel like I don't need a pita or anything carby with this, and it still keeps me very full. It reminds me a bit of tirapita because I put so much feta. It's just full of feta basically, so it does taste like a pie, a cheese pie. Why did I stop making it? Probably because I was having it every day, but oh my god, it's so good. Fresh omelette. Amazing. For lunch, I'm making a quick pasta salad. I started by boiling some whole wheat pasta in salted water.
While the pasta was cooking, I chopped my vegetables, starting with a few baby tomatoes. I also added some roasted peppers and sun-dried tomatoes. Lastly, I chopped some lettuce for some greens. I added all of the vegetables in a big bowl and added a can of tuna for some protein. Once the pasta was cooked, I rinsed them with some cold water and then added a few spoonfuls to my bowl. I mixed everything around and seasoned with salt and pepper. I also decided to add a bit of sweet corn, so I added that in and gave everything another good mix. I served the lettuce on my bowl and then topped it with my pasta salad. This lunch was so delicious and super quick to make. Definitely a good one to make when you're short on time but still want something filling and delicious. I then had one of these chocolate and ginger biscuits, which are my latest obsession. For dinner, I started by making a quick cabbage pickle. I chopped some white cabbage and used my mandolin slicer to shred it finely. I then added it in a small container and seasoned with salt. I added some vinegar, a tiny bit of sugar, and a tiny bit of boiling water. I then let it marinate while I was preparing the rest of my dinner. I grabbed a few sweet potatoes and chopped them in chip sizes. I seasoned with salt and pepper and sprayed them with some fry light, but you can also use olive oil. I mixed them well and put them in the oven to bake at around 200 degrees Celsius. Since I fancied a hot dog, I cooked a bunch of these Linda McCartney sausages. I just added them to a pan and added them to the oven to cook with the potatoes. Oh, and I snacked on a random slice of cheese while I was waiting for dinner. I served loads of chips to my plate and then toasted a pita and added some mustard in it. I filled my pita with a couple sausages and lastly I added my homemade pickle. This was such a yummy dinner and it really hit the spot for my very specific hot dog craving. And to finish the day, I had a Hello Top ice cream, which was delicious. Today was a rainy day, so I wanted a warm breakfast. I started by making some poached eggs in my pan. I then grabbed a can of baked beans and added them to a small pan to warm up. The wholemeal pita to my bowl and then topped with the baked beans, my eggs, and seasoned with salt and pepper. This is such a quick and comforting breakfast, especially with a cup of tea. For lunch, I was out working at a cafe, so I had this Mediterranean bowl with roasted vegetables, avocado and hummus, and lots of feta. It was so yummy, I could have eaten double the portion. Then for snacks, I had an apple and some Babybel cheese, and some leftover sweet potatoes from the day before. Then for dinner, I was really craving pizza, so I used these big flatbreads as a base. I added some passata and seasoned with mixed herbs, but you can also use just oregano and a bit of garlic powder too. I chopped some mushrooms and then added some mozzarella on my pizza. And since I didn't have enough mozzarella, I also added some Edam cheese. I then topped with the mushrooms. I also added some courgettes that I finely sliced with my mandolin. I then chopped some onion and added that on top too. I also added some olives and sweet corn. I baked it for 15 to 20 minutes and dinner was ready. Such an easy way to get my pizza fix and so quick to make. You can also use a Greek pita as the base for a thicker dip dish kind of pizza. It's also delicious, but I can't find Greek pitas. Sniff. And on Thursday I decided to start tracking my calories, so I will be adding calories in case that's useful. For breakfast I had one of my go-tos, a cheese pita. I chopped some tomatoes and then toasted a pita and filled it with 2 slices of cheese and my tomatoes. And some rocket, of course, as it's my favorite green. And it it was a busy day today, so for lunch I had a quick yogurt bowl. I added some Greek yogurt to my bowl and topped it with raspberries and all bran cereal. For an afternoon snack, I had a handful of almonds and an apple. And then a small bag of pop chips, which is another one of my latest obsessions. For dinner, I'm making a creamy chicken pasta dish. I started by adding a few chicken breasts in my pan and seasoned with salt and pepper. I also like to make some lines on the chicken to make sure it cooks through faster. I also had a glass of this yummy wine while I was cooking. I love red wine, but it gives me a headache, but I still like to have a glass here and there, especially when it complements my food. I then chopped a bunch of mushrooms in medium pieces. I also crushed a few cloves of garlic and chopped them finely. Once the chicken was cooked through, I added it in a small container and let it on the side while I was preparing the rest of my dish. To the same pan that I cooked my chicken, I added all the mushrooms and let them cook through. I also seasoned with salt and pepper. While the mushrooms were cooking, I made my creamy sauce. I added a few tablespoons of oil and flour in my pan and whisked it well to combine. I then added some skimmed milk and whisked it around until it thickens up. I seasoned the sauce with salt and pepper and chopped some parsley to sprinkle at the end. Once my pasta was cooked, I added them to the pan with the mushrooms and then added the creamy sauce. I mixed everything around to coat the pasta with the sauce. I also added a bit of Parmesan cheese and gave everything another good mix. Served the pasta in my bowl and then topped with the chicken breast. I sprinkled some Parmesan and the parsley and my dinner was ready. It was so delicious. I love this one and I will definitely be making it again. And then Friday, I fancied my usual cheese pita, so I just sliced some tomatoes and added them to my pita with a couple of slices of cheese and rocket. Exactly the same as yesterday, but it is really my go-to when I don't have a lot of time. For lunch, I made a pasta salad with the leftover pasta I had from earlier this week. I also prepped some chicken the day before by simply adding some seasoning and baking it in the oven, so I used some of that as well, and some sun-dried tomatoes as I love their flavor. I added some rocket to my bowl and then added some pasta. I then chopped the chicken breast and added it to my bowl. I chopped the sun-dried tomatoes in small pieces and added them in as well. Lastly, I added a bit of sweet corn too. For dressing, I used olive oil, vinegar and salt, and lunch was ready. Another quick one, but so delicious. Then snack time, I had one of those yummy biscuits, an apple and some pop chips. And then dinner, I decided to make a Spanish omelette, as I've been watching this Spanish show called Valeria, and there was an episode all about Spanish omelette, so I was really craving it. I peeled a couple of potatoes and then chopped them in medium-sized pieces. I also chopped half an onion in slices. I grabbed a non-stick pan, sprayed with fry light, and added the potatoes and onion. I seasoned with salt and pepper and let them cook through. I then cracked about 5 eggs and also added a few egg whites in there too. I whisked them up, and once the potatoes were cooked, I added the egg mixture to my pan too. I let the eggs cook and then did my best to flip over the omelette. And as you'll see, it did get burnt, and I think it's because I didn't use any oil, but I just removed the burnt pieces and it was fine. I had half of the omelette and it was so delicious. I really enjoyed it with another small glass of wine. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button, and I'll see you on the next one.